New this morning, a drive-by shooting on the far west side leaves a man in critical condition. Early this morning, someone opened fire on a home on Salty Marsh off of Highway 90 and Crywald Road. Charlie Cooper is joining us now live near that house. Charlie, what are neighbors saying about the shooting?
Good morning, Sarah. Well, neighbors have told us this is the third shooting in a matter of 5 days. 3 shootings in 5 days. That's crazy. I actually just spoke to another neighbor who actually told me that this is a quiet residential neighborhood, but that most of the homes out here have kids living inside of that, which is even more alarming to think that around 1:30 this morning, a shootout happened, and apparently sheriff's deputies say that a man was shot in a drive-by shooting. Now, as far as the person who did this, neighbors say that only moments after that shooting took place, they saw a sedan speed off. And so right now, deputies are looking for that sedan and the person who may have been inside who fired those shots. That man who was shot actually was taken to University Hospital in critical condition, and we're hoping this morning that he is doing okay. Back to you guys.